Okay. I am going to need probably about looking into probably about it could be anywhere from 6 months to a couple years before I could really bring my body down to lean mode. I got to get rid of this gyno from steroids. And I'm taking the natural route this time around. But I'm back in the gym this year after about 8 years off. I'm back in the gym this year after about 8 years off, and I've been losing weight. I feel great, but this fucking gyno is killing me. So I'm getting my hands on some DIM supplements. Getting my hands on some DIM supplements to reduce estrogen. Just warming up right now. The weight that we're playing with today is 15 pounds each arm. So I'm not sure what the central focus of the workout today is going to be. My arms are looking pretty beefy compared to the size of my chest. Today, I think I want to knock out some abs. I want to knock out some abs. So I'm not sure how I want to conduct the beginning of this workout. Is just practicing training for my big skiing adventures. People take this bodybuilding shit way too serious. If you're not comfortable enough to just go in the gym and throw some weights around, I think what the problem is most people they get started in the gym, and we're inspired, by people who you know, going in the gym and throwing around, the conversation between you and the workout is different depending on how much weight you're actually lifting. Because like people, when I was taking steroids and I was throwing around all this heavy ass weights, my system was literally like pushing itself to lift the weight. That's why when you see people lifting heavy weights, they're always grunting and stuff like that. But when you're going lower weights for higher reps, it's like you're more or less like, it's like when you run, you're breathing a little bit more. But when you're lifting, 400 pounds on the bench press, you're literally like exerting the fullness of your potential, or some of the fullness of your potential to move that weight around. That's why big bodybuilders grunt when they work out. So people that like to exaggerate their fucking workouts, even if they're lifting light weight, grunt during their workouts because that's what they think the conversation should be. But actually, it's just kind of makes you look stupid. Now, for me, so, all right. Today I'm going to be training my, more so like probably my torso, So let's train some, let's do some deadlifts. I want to, and take these little 15-pound weights. All right. Hello? Yeah, what's up with you? Good. Working out? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We'll go out to eat like next week. All right. Text me. I'm in the middle of like a YouTube live video right now. I'm like making a live video right now. All right. Next week, like Wednesday. All right. All right. All right. Bye. Oh, baby. What's up, viewers? We're just warming up. Usually, these long, extended workouts that I do are, I usually spend about 2 hours conditioning my body to prepare for the next, 8 hours of working out. It's probably going to be about 10 hours of working out today. So, I am, back in the gym this year after about 7 or 8 years off. And today's workout is just a full body workout. We're going to do, I don't even know. We're probably going to alternate, between arms, chest, abs. I got to hit my abs today. Of all the body parts that I've trained throughout my years of working out, abs, ever since I've been in the gym full time since 19, I've been working out all my life. Always like kind of been in sports and stuff. Always like kind of been in sports and stuff. The typical workout is like push-ups and crunches and like push-ups and sit-ups. But ever since I've actually been in the gym, I don't really do like abs. It's like the last thing on my mind when I think of building like a great body is like abs, even though abs are like the most critical component of looking good. If you don't have that lean stomach with the abs and everything, people don't take you serious, even though not too bad for a natty. Not too bad for a natty. It's probably why, like, before, if I ever start taking steroids or anything like that, which I don't think I ever will, I want to see how far I can go naturally. I'm giving myself like 3 years to see like how much gains and how quickly I can make gains and where I start to plateau with my gains. And then if I can't make it without steroids, I'll start taking steroids. It doesn't have to be much more complicated than that. Oh shit. I got to go get my testosterone. I'll be right back. Okay, so testosterone is like legal anabolics. You'd be surprised what over-the-counter supplements you can find that really help building muscle a hell of a lot. Like testosterone, You'd be surprised the fat burners, some of the fat burners out there that actually fucking work. You don't need steroids to lose weight. You don't need steroids to look great. Who's this? Am I just starting my journey or taking fitness seriously? I'm taking it serious now. I took a break for like 8 years. You could tell that I work out, right? But I'm just back in the gym this year after 8 years off. So everything that you see here, I built basically this year. So I'm doing pretty good, right? If you would have seen me a couple months ago, I was kind of like a blubbery mess with no pecs. But my right arm has always been like fucking huge. And my left arm is actually damaged from basically I took a break to work on my business for like 8 years. I had to handle my money situation. I had to take care of my money situation. And now that I've taken care of much of my money situation, yeah, well, I worked out daily for about 2 years. Oh yeah. If you look on my channel, you can see my transformation video where I was looking real beefy. You know, I think I have naturally good genetics for muscle building. If you see, I have like the broad shoulders. I'm a little bit broader than like most guys. I'm not sure, like it depends on what angle you see me from, but I'm trying to win a national show. I will win a national show so that I can get my pro card. That's one of my goals in life. It's one of the only things I want to do in my fucking life is get my bodybuilding pro card. My pro card in bodybuilding is to provide for my family and to read the Bible. You know, those are like the 3 things that I really want to do in my life. I don't chase prestige. I don't care about being like a champion. Only reason I want to win is to get my pro card. Yeah, if you look at my video, like last month, it's like a major difference. I'm packing like a major difference compared to even like last month. Thank you, Aaron. You're the man, dude. I am a certified personal trainer, by the way. Like the thing with the belly fat is I know what to do. I just don't do it, right? I know how to lose weight. I just don't do it. It's not that fucking complicated. If you want to lose weight, find your basal metabolic rate, your BMR, find whatever number of calories you need to sustain your body weight, and prepare your meals. This is the easiest way to do it is to prepare your meals like every day. Don't do it every week because those meals sitting in the freezer, they start, that like kind of like is weird. I like to do it like once a day in the morning. You know, I don't prepare my meals for the week. like once a week, you know. I like to do it like in the morning once a day, you know. So section out your meals and however many calories it takes to sustain your body weight. If you want to lose weight, subtract a meal. Every meal should be about 500 calories. If you want to gain weight, add a meal. You know, I fucked around and I went straight through and I started eating 4,000 fucking calories a day to get big, right? Well, I sure did get big, but I packed on like about a fucking 7-month pregnancy gut of fucking fat. And what happened is I actually wound up living on the streets. I made a to go live on the streets. And I couldn't go to the gym, you know, because I had nothing. I didn't have no fucking welfare check. I didn't have no fucking nothing. I had to panhandle for like $1 a day to get like a piece of fruit or something from the grocery store. And the last thing on my mind when I was living on the streets was like, got to get in my fucking workout, you know. But you got to stay in the pocket. You've seen that dude around the internet that talks about stay in the pocket. There's something to that. You know, you got to stay in the pocket. And, you know, don't lose your focus. You know, don't lose your focus. Never take your mind's eye off of your goal. You know, you got to stay in the pocket. Do not leave the fucking pocket, because the moment you leave the pocket, like, you're fucked, right? So stay in the fucking pocket. You know, I care about 3 things in my life. Is my family, my business, and my bodybuilding. You know, and God, you know, and the people that came before me in this universe. That's like what I care about, you know. Is like, it's a treacherous fucking life, but God makes it real easy, you know. Anyways, I got to knock out some actual working out. I'm about done warming up I'm going to go get my 2-pound weights real quick. I got to get some, I'll be right back. So these little 2-pound weights, you see these things right here? These are great for warming up your joints and stuff. So yeah, you got to stay in the pocket. You know, you got to stay in the pocket. Because the moment you take that focus off of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, don't expect that inspiration to come back like later down the line. I'll be in the pocket till the day I die, till the very instant that I die, with money, bodybuilding, and my family. So, all right, there ain't nobody on the couch right now. So I'm going to knock out some crunches while the couch is not occupied. Guys, I haven't trained very much abs in my history of being a full-time body and strength athlete. I talked about this earlier, you know, how like my first like few workouts were just like the standard like push-ups and sit-ups, you know. This is how you train your abs. You don't just crunch up like this. You have to lift your legs too. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. And then there's other exercises that I do for abs is like jumping leg lifts like this. But you got to put your arms up to gain the leverage from your upper body, and then you lift your legs in the air to get the contraction in your lower abs. It's very important. You don't want to be walking around with big, thick pork chop fucking upper abs with like no lower abs. You know, you got to have both. Or you can go like this. Oh, shit. I'm like uncoordinated. I almost would have been that fucking like 40-year-old dude that has no like agility whatsoever. Thank God I fucking started like okay. Maybe I think, well, goddamn, I can't like work out in my underwear because I can't like work out in my underwear because that would be naughty for YouTube video. Would probably get like flagged and reported. So let's see. I'm going to yeah, like when you're in your youth, you know, if you're like a young guy watching this video, when you're in your when you're in your youth, you know, they do a good job of keeping you like fit and lean, you know, or like life does a good job of keeping you like fit and lean, you know. And it's probably because you do a lot of like walking and you do a lot of like, you know, yeah, I always had like physical jobs, like even if I was just like washing dishes, you know, always like moving around, you know, and then as you get older, you get to like sitting around the house and shit. And you gotta fucking work out, man. You gotta work out because if you really think about it, if like everyone in my city basically fucking works out, but they don't work out like how I work out. I work out like 10 hours a fucking day sometimes. Like usually about once a week, I'll have like an all day long workout. Also, by the way, Old School Labs testosterone, okay, to optimize muscle gains. Any little millimeter of muscle that you can add onto your body from a supplement you should be using, and I will show you. This is the pre-workout that is fueling this video. Mr. Hyde's signature sustained energy pre-workout, blue raz flavor. And this is the brand of creatine that I'm fucking with right now. It's just, I've never heard of it before in my life, but this is the only creatine that they really had at the store for 100 servings for like 15, 20 bucks. I take about 10 grams of creatine a day as of like last week. So, yeah, like I'm about to start taking DIM supplements to reduce estrogen. People talk about how great steroids are, but they don't talk about coming off. Coming off of steroids is some of the worst shit that I've been through in my life. It's like some mids of like some really terrible shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you gotta imagine that if your fucking testosterone goes down to like, you know, 15% of what it was, it takes a little bit of getting used to, you know, it takes a little bit of getting used to, you know, feeling like half of the fucking man that you were before you took steroids. And then keep in mind, guys, when you inject testosterone, when you expand the muscle tissues in your body by injecting testosterone, your brain also expands, so that when you come off, your entire body contracts, including your brain. That's why you see a lot of people that come off of steroids, they look like they got hit by a fucking truck because their mind is not even operating at its normal capacity. Their brain, their physical brain is like shrunken, you know. Look at Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman was practically like fucking drooling over himself for like a good few years. So pretty much, you know, anyways, side note, I got a letter from the tax man yesterday saying that I owe $12,000. I don't got that kind of fucking money right now. I'm a broke ass fucking bodybuilder. I'm a millionaire in net worth, but I basically live off of fucking investments, and I spend my money as soon as I get it. And it's like, yeah, like, you know, it's, I got that kind of funny money right now. And, I got that kind of funny money right now, and I get a letter from the tax man saying I owe $12,000. So I thought, like, what the fuck? Did I get approved for a loan? Did I get approved for a loan for my business? I call them and they said that I owe back taxes. So I'm like, what the fuck? You know, it's like, I thought I had like $10,000 sitting in a bank account because I opened the letter, you know, at like 8 o'clock last night or whatever. So it says like the principal is like 10 grand and I owe 12,000. And so I thought, like, I got my hopes up and I said, like, oh, like, you know, I must have like $10,000 sitting in a bank account somewhere, because why else would I owe $12,000? I have like, I've been getting letters saying I owe like 700, 800 or whatever, you know, which might take me like, well, which I could pay off like right away, you know. But it's just, yeah, well, I'm a millionaire, but I got that funny money in terms of cash right now. It's like, when I decide to leave the life that I currently live, I have to basically work hard for the rest of my life. And like, I'm good on that, you know. Right now it's going to be like probably a good, like, I'm just going to take like a couple of years off of the hard work. I've been grinding since I was fucking born. I've been grinding, working on myself since I was fucking 3 years old. I started my first business when I was 3 years old, you know. You know, I've been grinding, working on myself since, if you think about it, since I was how to walk and talk and move around and stuff. And I started my first business when I was 3 years old. And like, you know, hustling all my life, trying to make money. Finally, I catch a break when I was like 26 and became a millionaire. Now I'm like a multi-millionaire, but I have basically, it's hard to explain, but it's true. Who's this? God is good. It sure is true, buddy. So, yeah, I mean, people are ignorant, you know, even if I was doing bad, you know, is that such a bad thing? And is people going to judge you for that? Probably not. You know, I live real good. I don't work a job. And I live real good. You know, I can afford everything that I want and need pretty much. If I want to buy a house, I could go buy a house, cash money, you know, or like strike an equity deal in my company. Basically, I get a disability check, and once I start making money, the disability check is going to go away. So pretty much, you know, yeah, that's pretty much the deal. Is I'm on disability or welfare, but I have like a backup plan where it was valued that my assets are valued at about $477 million. You know.
Hey, Mike, you want a smoke now?
A smoke?
Hey.
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you, sir.
I don't think smoking is good for your muscles, but that's fine.
You drinking water, Mike?
Water? No.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Hail Mary, sir.
Hail Mary, full of grace. All right, so yeah, so I did not come into this world with fucking privilege like you think. I came into this world with like a notion that I have to make money. And I figured like if I'm going to be out here in the world, like conducting myself, I may as well like try to make as much money as possible. So I started a business. And that's like what my grandfather told me when I was 3 years old is the only way to get rich is to have your own business. And there's more ways to get rich, but he said he didn't want me to be a fucking entrepreneur because at the time, it was not a good idea to really be an entrepreneur. Like you could get kidnapped, you could get murdered, you could get like fucking fucked over. Nowadays, the world is so fucking cozy, or rather like so cozy or like pretty cozy that like kids, like I don't mean to call them kids, but like, you know, like 75% of these kids that become entrepreneurs would not have chosen to be an entrepreneur in my day. And I'm not talking shit. I'm simply just stating facts that people, you know, I could see where someone wouldn't want to be an entrepreneur if you get fucking murdered for the mattress full of money that you have, you know. Listen to the song Piggy Pie by ICP. Talking about how he's going to murder a rich man that has his mattress stuffed with money because he thinks he's a fucking swine. Like, Cops are pigs. Rich people are pigs. Everyone up there is a fucking pig, but I'm like the fucking somehow the good guy, right? All right. I rest days. Oh shit. So I have like muscle imbalances. My left arm is like half the size of my fucking right arm. And that shit pisses me off. I might do like a focus today on like my left bicep. I can remember sitting playing video games. I'm a PC gamer. If I ever play video games, I'm like a PC gamer. But for when I want to play like Call of Duty, I play like consoles, you know, for like Call of Duty. But that's pretty much it. And Borderlands, I play on PC too. Yeah, like Call of Duty is just that game that I play on the console, you know. But I don't really play video games. I play RuneScape, you know. Do you guys play RuneScape? Has everyone ever heard of RuneScape? Is like one of the best fucking games. Is based on the principle that with enough time, you can achieve anything, you know, which is a lot like real life, you know, except when it comes to money and stuff in real life, you have to put in like sacrifice and stuff. You have to make compromises. Is like success in any arena is like, what are you willing to give up in order to achieve that which you want? So I upgraded my weights to 15-pound weights. I use progressive overload. This is how I use progressive overload. I use progressive overload I train my body with like a certain weight, like dumbbells, and I just upgrade my dumbbells. So put it to you this way. I graduated from 4-pound weights to 15-pound weights in about a month and a half, because I'm muscle memory and I'm back in the gym this year after 8 years off. So, you know, when I was in the gym 8 years ago, I was slapping around 75-pound weights for arm curls for like 20 reps, like easy reps. So these little 15-pound weights right here, these little 15-pound weights right here, you know, this is like, I'm probably pretty much ready to even upgrade to like 25-pound weights to train my arms with. You know, I'm a heavy lifter. I lift heavy. You know, 6 months ago, I bought two 50-pound dumbbells off of eBay. And I was throwing those around for my workouts, you know, working out for maybe like 30 minutes a day. And that's how I got these 16-inch pythons. but I use, progressive overload by increasing the weight of the dumbbells that I use for my day-long workouts. I don't take days off. I do some form of exercise every single day. I have like such a sincere fear in my heart that then I'm gonna like slip out of the pocket or something, then I'm gonna like lose the drive to work out every day. So I work out every fucking day. If I was like in a hospital bed, I would be sitting here with like my 2-pound weights, like, oh, yeah, lightweight, baby. I'd be like, yeah. With like, 2-pound weights, and, so yeah, people are ignorant. They think that you have to lift heavy every workout, and if you're not lifting heavy, you're not like a real like bodybuilder. Well,
It's mounted.